Yeah, that's right. Beardo and Dreads are going to be on the program this week. If you watch NFL football and you watch the Packers versus the 49ers, you saw them photobombing Erin Andrews. That was a lot of fun. So we're going to talk to them for a little bit, and then a big deal next week. It's a big deal. I said it's a big deal. I want to thank you guys so much, Beardo and Dredge, for being on the program.
Thanks for having us.
And for those who don't know, why don't you take us back a couple of days? And you guys were taking a 5-day trip, and you just kind of ended up behind Erin Andrews, a position most men would want to be in.
We started. Let's take this a couple months farther back than the trip.
Okay.
It was probably 2-3 months in advance that we were led on to megabus.com, where we were able to get $3 bus tickets from Philly to New York, and then another $3 bus ticket from New York to Boston. I have a friend in Boston, so we just said, what the heck, let's make a trip out of it. So that's how it all kind of started. No real ambition or plans or anything like that as far as what we were going to do while we were on the trip. Just kind of doing it as cheap as possible.
Awesome. And then now, sorry. What brought you guys to that whole setting with Erin Andrews and the whole NFL Fox thing?
Yeah, we were basically for wandering around the better part of the day. We had watched, we went to like a local sports bar in New York City that only airs like Buffalo Bills games, because I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, and so I'm a big Bills fan, so you can go ahead and, yeah, I cry a lot.
I'm a Packer fan, man, and when we lost to San Francisco, it hurt.
All right. Well, I'm used to losing, so it doesn't hurt anymore, but so we went and we hung out there until the game was over, and then I think that, again, we didn't make any plans, so we said, let's just wander around, and I don't know if you brought it up or if I did, let's just walk down to Times Square and just walk around. I mean, that doesn't sound like a good story, but that's basically what it was. And so we walked all the way from there to Times Square, which was probably close to 3 miles, I would say, of a walk down there.
We walked over 3 miles to get to the sports bar.
Yeah. So we did 6 miles that afternoon walking. And so when we got to Times Square, we were walking by. We saw that Fox had set up a set of bleachers in Times Square for people to sit on to watch. Your Packers and then the Niners. Yeah. So to watch that game. And I think we were just so tired from walking that I know one of us said, let's just sit down and just watch the game for a while. And so we sat there, and at halftime, the producers and stuff made an announcement that if anybody wanted to come down and be in the, a real quick shot, halftime shot to come down there. So we walked down, and we were kind of in the middle of the crowd, and the camera panned over us, and, no big deal. Probably nobody spotted us when we did that. So we sat back down for a little bit longer before we're all right, good enough. Now let's just keep walking around, just checking things out. So we kept walking around for a bit longer, and we both decided that we need to use the bathroom. And the only place that you can use the bathroom in Times Square that's free is McDonald's, which is right across the road from where the bleachers were set up. So we walked back there, we went inside, used the bathroom. When we came back out, I think we were tired from walking again already. And we said, let's sit back down one more time. So we walked over to the bleachers, and when we went to sit down, they were packed. There was no seats left in it because it was coming up towards the end of the game when they would go live with the show. So they packed the bleachers. But there was one spot up on, the railing off to the right where nobody was standing. And so I'm like, well, at least we can stand by the railing and lean on it. And it's not sitting down, but it's better than just standing. And so we got up and we kind of nudged our way into position there, not thinking we'd be anywhere near a shot or anything like that. And a few minutes later is when Jay Glazner came walking out first. When he came walking out, came out with I think it was one of his bodyguards or something like that.
He was huge.
Yeah.
Like twice the size of Jay.
Yeah. Real big dude. And I kind of started heckling Jay Glazner a little bit, like, oh, arm wrestle. And he was trying to ignore me, but I kept like being persistent, like, oh, arm wrestle. And I was pointing at his bodyguard. And his bodyguard, this was one of my favorite moments. His bodyguard, finally realizes that I'm, saying they should arm wrestle, and he's this big dude. He gets this huge smile on his face, and he cracks a smile, and he's missing, like, his two teeth right here. Big smile with these two missing teeth. And Jake Lacener's like, oh, yeah, or, something like that. And so then he walked away, and that's when Erin Andrews came walking out, and I couldn't even remember her name at first. So that goes to tell you how staged it was.
We kept trying to figure it out. We're like, I had no idea. And he's like, come on, what is her name? And so, he finally remembered. And at, literally, 10 seconds before they went live, he remembered her name. And the video guy comes out, and he's holding the camera. He's like, all right, we're going to do the shot right here.
Oh.
And it's like, we're looking at all these people that are ready to wave to their moms and, get on live TV that look normal.
Yeah.
And he picks us. So, with actually no preparation whatsoever, we just both kind of screwed up on the camera.
I was watching it live, and I looked and I'm like, those guys are photobombing right now. And my brother was like, what are you talking about? Just keep watching. Their faces are never going to change. Watch. And they never did, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. Now, what brought you guys to the Today Show then?
We had already kind of planned on making a stop to the Today Show. Just realizing that morning we were going to get on a bus and head back. So we just kind of planned on making a stop just to kind of check it out. Not really at the point where we made the plans, not really expecting to even be on camera or be but when our phone started blowing up, well, I guess mine, because he's still got a dumb phone, but when my phone just kept buzzing and buzzing and buzzing, we realized that we should probably get up a little bit earlier and make a little bit more of an effort to find a nice spot on the Today Show.
Then after the Today Show, you guys were on Crowd Goes Wild.
Yeah.
And Regis was playing with your hair.
He was playing with my hair.
What is? I've always wanted to ask somebody. What is he like in real life? Is he the same as you see him on TV? Is he crazy?
He's shorter.
Yeah, he's not a very tall dude, that's for sure.
I don't know if we should reveal this, but he was sitting on a little phone book thing. It wasn't a phone book, but it was something to prop him up.
Yeah, it was like a cushion, like a propping cushion of sorts. But he was a good guy. I mean, I guess that I kind of had a preconceived notion that, I don't know, personalities of that type and with his type of fame and stature, they would kind of be jerks, oh, who are these two dudes? Right. And he was really cool about it, and, he wanted to take a picture and all that stuff. And, I thought he was a really nice guy. I mean, it wasn't just take the picture and get out of there. He's like, oh, you guys are famous, and we're like, oh, no, we're not. It's really no big deal. And he kind of looked at both of us, and he's like, you guys don't realize how famous you are. So that was kind of neat that he was able to, say something nice to us. So he's a good guy.
How the thing that you guys have broken two things now. One, that little tiny Jay Glazer has a bodyguard, and Mr. MMA, and that Regis is really, really short. That's good to hear. That's going to be a huge episode. Now, in your personal lives, how has this whole thing affected that?
Well, I only got in trouble at work once for being And like, I guess at my work, people really started like realizing because where I like nobody at my work. We live under a rock in Lancaster. No one has any idea that this happened. And even my coworkers, they're like, well, "What's photobombing?" So, I think they realized that something fairly big did happen about it when TMZ called during work. Yeah, I mean, it's been launching the shirts.
Shirts? What shirts? Oh, those shirts.
Launching the shirts.
And where can one find those shirts?
BeardoDreads.com.
There you go.
That was probably the worst week of my life.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think we almost became unfriends that week.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
I think I got like 9 or 10 hours of sleep between Monday and Friday.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Now, I know you're a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, that's right.
And what do your kids think of this?
They this is actually a funny story. So we got back on Monday. Yeah, Monday night, late Monday night. And, my wife and his wife had kind of been telling my kids what had been going on along the way on Sunday and then on Monday. And my kids were already in bed Monday night when we got back. So when I got up Monday morning, I talked to them a little bit about it, but not very much. We were trying to get them ready for school, etc. And when I went to go pick up my daughter from school,
oh boy,
she comes running out and she goes, "Daddy, you're famous." And I'm like, no, we don't need to talk about that right now because I don't want it to be a distraction or anything.
Right.
I picked her up and she said, "I can't believe you're famous." She goes, "I just want to be famous." So they think it's fun, but at the same time, they're so small. It's like, they don't really understand what's going on. So,
well, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you are a photographer, good sir. How do you? You did the one thing that you probably hate the most.
Actually, the thing I hate the most in photography is at weddings, the 80-year-old grandpa that just bought a camera that's twice as nice as mine that won't get out of my way.
I hate that so much. I was at a local show one time. I was filming the band, and somebody just had a nicer camera than me, walked in front of me, looked at me like, "Oh, your camera's crap. I think I'll film now." Like, "Oh, well, thanks a lot. I'm gonna go get drunk." But yeah, no, it's a lot of good things have happened to you guys, though. I mean, this is a positive, right?
Oh yeah. Once the shirts launched, everything felt so much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a positive thing now.
Yeah.
It'll be a way more positive thing if we break even on the shirts.
Need to sell shirts.
And where can they find them again?
BeardoDreads.com. Not Beardo and Dreads. Someone already nabbed that
a minute
Monday
after,
night or something like that.
Oh,
so
geez.
we had to kind of compromise.
Yeah, Beardo Dreads. It's real easy. You can also find our Facebook fan page, Beardo and Dreads, on Facebook, and that has all the links back to our website and all the fan video that people have posted and different little stories and stuff. So,
and I will be revealing something probably tomorrow, maybe later this week. And I can't really tell too much about what that is, but if you are interested, check it out on the Facebook page. Hopefully you'll get a good chuckle out of it.
There you go, gang, and by the time this actually airs, your announcement will have been 2 weeks ago, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Now.
But we're still going to make people go to the Facebook page and look.
okay.
You don't get freebies, people. You get the show, that's enough. And if somebody wants to hire you as a photographer, where can they go?
They can go to BrockEvanPhoto.com. That's BROCEVAN photo.com.
Awesome. And do you have any like Twitter or anything you'd like to push? Either one of you? I know you have one.
Yeah, most everyone actually. That's how the Regis show found us, was through my Twitter handle. Like literally 5 minutes after this whole thing happened, some girl, her Twitter handle is @HeyDanger. Pretty good artist. She drew up like a little meme of my face, and it says "I'm crazy for football." And like literally 5 minutes after it happened, I don't know how she must have like known right away that like from the very first second that she needed to start drawing, because I don't know how else she would have gotten it up so quick. Once a buddy of mine out of Utah, he saw it. He pinned it to my page, like added me to it or tagged me or whatever. I'm still kind of behind on the lingo with all that. So I made it my Twitter profile picture. She saw it, and then I guess that's how everything got connected up. And when the producer for Crowd Goes Wild called us, he's like, "I've been looking for you guys all day." Yeah.
You guys were under that rock in Lancaster.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you guys so much for being on. It's been a real blast, and we'll have to do this again sometime because this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man.
Well, that was informative. I didn't know that about Regis. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Here's a little clip from next week with Peter Weller.
You know, it's a very famous guy, Dredge himself, said, he was shall remain nameless, directing yourself is easy because there's just one less asshole to talk to. So, and he said that with a lot of levity.
Well, that's it for this week. Next week, Peter Weller. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter @Purtee and visit ronpurtee.com when it's up. And do all the usual things you're supposed to do to a video that's on YouTube, I suppose. That's all there is. So, we'll see you next week. Sleep warm, kids.